Okay, so I listened to The Death of Slim Shady, and honestly, while I do believe it is one of Eminem's best albums in years, I still don't think it's that great. Real ones, let me know what y'all think, and please, Eminem fans, please do not crucify me for this opinion. But I feel like Eminem kind of falls into the litany of other, I'm gonna say it, here it comes, of other white men from the Bush era that have watched the world around them change in ways that they necessarily don't understand and that they are forced to accept. So Eminem in the early 2000s and like much of the Bush era was abrasive, was shocking, was also very entertaining, but a lot of it didn't age well. Could you think of a song like Kim? Like think of a song like Kim dropping today. Like that would just never hold up. But the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, like Eminem, an Eminem show, like Eminem truly is one of the greatest rappers of all time. And I don't believe that anybody that says that he doesn't really listen to hip hop and doesn't really love hip hop. And I feel like he's the best white rapper of all time. And I really believe that technically he should be in your top 5 or top 10. We were talking like technical in terms of like putting words in a beat, creating stories, rhymes, similes, metaphors, like all of that, all of the important things that we rap fans love to pride in our music. But when it comes to his recent output, I feel like we've all just kind of been waiting for something to just be a lot better. And let me know what y'all think, but I feel like Eminem has shared a lot about his personal life in his music, but since he's grown a lot more private over the last couple years, it's kind of grown a little more stagnant in a way. Because in this album, he's rapping about the same things that he was rapping in 2002, but it's almost kind of like, dude, that was like 22 years ago. And I feel like largely there are going to be people that are going to say that I'm missing the point, and that is totally fair. Like, real ones, leave a comment if that's the case, and I'm totally down to be wrong on this. But I feel like largely, as the concept goes, Eminem is basically saying that he is killing Slim Shady, the person that was saying and doing all the things that Eminem himself couldn't. Guilty Conscience 2, this is where the album kind of comes to a head, where like Eminem and they like actually buries Slim Shady and says like, hey, you know what? You caused me so much strife because of all the things that you did and all the things that you said, so go fuck yourself. We're not doing this anymore. And he effectively kills him. So like, you know, basically the concept going on like Eminem killing Slim Shady and Slim Shady like, you know, dying, and Eminem kind of saying like, well, what was the big deal? Like Slim Shady being like, what was the big deal? I was just using the First Amendment. I was just speaking my truth and y'all didn't like it, you know? And I feel like in some ways, like the concept, it lands, but like the music isn't good enough to kind of hold you through it. And if you listen to it backwards, it's basically Slim Shady killing Eminem, which is like pretty cool. So it's funny because like sometimes when I do these reviews, and you know, hope y'all understand, sometimes when I do these reviews, as I'm doing them, as I'm talking about them, like I kind of sit here and I'm like, okay, when I was going into this, I wasn't necessarily as for it, but now as I talk to y'all about this, I'm kind of like, okay, maybe it works a little bit more than I necessarily thought it was going to work. So maybe it's not the worst thing ever, but yeah, that's effectively what the concept is. And I feel like the songs just don't really pick up the slack that the concept leaves, right? Like the songs, like in a good concept album, you want to have songs that really stick the landing, and they have to, because it's hard to pull off a concept album because you're supposed to listen to the whole album all the way through. But like there are a few times like Houdini, not into it. Brand New Dance, I feel like Houdini and Brand New Dance sound like songs that we've already heard Eminem do. Like they all both sound like Guess Who's Back, right? They all sound like the ba-na-na-na-na, like, you know, it's just very much like, okay, and we've heard this. But also like he does hit it well, like on Renaissance. I love that song. I really like the way that Eminem starts rapping, and it's funny because when I listened to Renaissance, I was like, wow, like I haven't listened to M attack a beat in a very long time. And I know that I'm not one of the 84 million people that listen to him monthly, but I was like, it was almost refreshing for it to happen. Or Fuel, with JID, so good. And honestly, showing that like JID being one of the rappers that kind of took Eminem's lyrical style, that took like the torch and effectively like has taken it and advanced his style forward, with Kendrick Lamar being another one of those people. And I think people already know this by now, but like I think that's very much it. And especially with the way Kendrick Lamar has been milking the beef against Drake, because in this album, Eminem disses Ja Rule. So just to know that like if Kendrick Lamar is dissing Drake 20 years from now, it's gonna be very Eminem-esque. So that's a whole nother story. But the point that I'm trying to make is like Eminem is effectively surveying the landscape, seeing a bunch of people that would not be there without him, that would not be there without Slim Shady, the alter ego that he's trying to kill, and is effectively saying like, what's the big deal? Like, why is everybody trying to cancel me? But part of me is also thinking to myself, like, who's trying to cancel him? Like, I mean, I don't know what his mentions look like. I don't know what his Instagram mentions look like. In the same way that you could see somebody and you never know what anybody's going through, you never know what anybody's social media mentions are like, because I do not see it. I do not know how people are attacking it. And he mentions like Gen Z and stuff like that. But if I'm correct, I think his daughter is Gen Z, technically. Haley is Gen Z, right? She would be Gen Z. Like, real ones, let me know how old Haley is. But like all of these things kind of add up into like a project that like is kind of searching for a hater, is searching for a massive media backlash to say, oh my God, Marshall, I can't believe you said and did these things again. That's saying, oh my God, Marshall, I can't believe that you are still, making fun of deaf people, that you're making fun of little people. Why are you still dissing Christopher Reeves? This man has been dead for 20 plus years, right? You know what I mean? Like he's searching for people to kind of give him this backlash that will almost like make that will make the Slim Shady alter ego, like that will kind of carry it even further. And it's kind of like Eminem doesn't need to shock to sell records. Like I think I saw like he's on track for like more than 200,000 album sales in the last year. Like Eminem is going to sell records no matter what. But like when it comes down to it, it's kind of like, bro, like, there's got to be more to this. There's got to be something else. And you know what? I can't give him a dig because, and let me know what y'all think, because a lot of artists nowadays are so single focused, they're so single song focused that they're not necessarily dropping full on albums, that they're not thinking about what an entire album would sound like. And the fact that Eminem, like with all the people that are inspired by him, will still sit here and say, you know what, I'm going to drop an album that needs to be listened from front to back and then maybe back to front. And, I feel like that's important. I feel like he deserves his flowers for that. But like a lot of things is just kind of like, bro, like, the punching down is kind of dumb. But you know what? Also, I feel like I think I might have mentioned this already, but it's a kind of very much like, like I said, in the Bush era, so many things did not age well. It was a crazy time. Like I was in high school in the Bush era. Like Family Guy, if you watch a lot of those early Family Guy episodes, they did not age well. Or even South Park. Eminem mentioned South Park on this album. And it's funny because it's very much like, oh, Eminem is like stuck in like that early 2000s time period in his mind, when he was doing a lot of drugs and when he was involved in a lot of beefs and when he was at the top of like hip hop writ large. Like, it feels like he's still creatively stuck there and still creatively trying to reach for those heights. And as to the top of hip hop, Eminem was perpetually at the top of hip hop. Like like I said, he's on track for over 200,000 album sales. He's going to be one of the biggest releases of the year. Like that is at the top of hip hop. Like, but he's at the top of hip hop because his fan base is so big because of all the work that he's put into it. So, that's kind of, where it is. There's some other songs I like in the project. Somebody Save Me with Jelly Roll. Yo, man, I liked that song. I really was into that song. I played that song a number of times. Temporary with Skylar Grey. Eminem and Skylar Grey always getting busy. Temporary is more about Haley. Another song about Haley. But it's just like kind of like singing about Haley as if she's still a child when we just saw her get married. So it's just kind of like, why are we still moving down these paths? But it's like totally chill. And what else did I like on it? I'll tell you what I did not like. I did not like Toby. I thought like the chorus was kind of corny. It's like Tobey Maguire, who played Spider-Man in the original, not the original Spider-Man, but in one of the Spider-Man movies. He's like Spider-Man was bitten by a spider, he turned him into a spider, but I was bitten by a goat. It's kind of like, bro, like, all right, dad, we get it. Like kind of like a dad joke. Although Babytron and Big Sean like do their thing in this album. And shout out to Big Sean. I feel like Big Sean has been getting a lot of flack lately, unnecessarily so. But anyways, all in all, the album's is okay. I listened to it maybe like 10 times this week, and I made a video on TikTok saying that I could not find the energy to listen to it, and I'm happy that I found said energy to listen to it. I'm happy that I put in the effort and listened to it, because if I hadn't, then I would have, I feel like I would have been missing a very crucial part in a legend's career, because I listened to Music to Be Murdered By. I listened to the Marshall Mathers LP too. I listened to every single Eminem project. I listened to Relapse, every single Eminem project. I feel like Eminem is one of those artists that you have to carve out time in your music listening repertoire to listen to them. Like this whole week I've been listening to like Chief Keef and Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, I know it's really all over the place, but I definitely made some time to listen to Eminem. Also Stevie Wonder, listen to a lot of Stevie Wonder too. But anyways, drop a W if you made it this far. What did y'all think about the album? Let me know in the comments. It's your boy Jacques. I'll see you on the next one. Like, follow, and subscribe. Peace.